Welcome back to MASN All Access. Sarah Perlman, joined by Brach, who recently, his wife had a baby, and they've been out in Nashville, and now, of course, you're here. I want to get started and just hear about the baby experience. How is it being a father?
It's awesome. It's more than I expected, and it's been great 2 months, and hopefully it continues to go this well. But it's been the best experience of my life. Like I said, when she was born, it kind of just gives you a different perspective and kind of changes the way you look at everything. So it's been awesome 2 months.
And I asked you, could you see you guys having another kid in the near future? And you told me to wait till the end of the season.
Yeah, wait till then. But as of now, yeah. But like I said, wait till the end of the season, and maybe it's a question to ask my wife instead.
And how was Nashville? How was the off season? Have you been working out? What's your regimen been like?
Yeah, Nashville's good. I work out at Vanderbilt, go there like 5
Nice.
times a week. A bunch of guys are there, and so it's nice being around other guys from other organizations that I don't get to spend around too much time during the season with. And it was good. Everything was good. The weather was a little bad, which was a little unusual, but yeah, I didn't do much. I'm kind of boring. I like doing stuff around the house, so
That's okay.
I did a bunch of yard work and did the landscaping and did some stuff around the house and stuff like that. But once the baby was born, last 7 weeks have kind of been a blur. So
35 pitchers are here at spring training right now. Are you excited to see some of the young guys work out and get a look at how they throw and everything?
yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of weird now knowing that there's guys almost 10 years younger than me here, like at big league camp.
Big
so
difference.
It just happens fast. Like I remember being one of the guys when I was 25, looking up to guys who are, pushing 35, and now I'm one of those guys. So it's kind of crazy, but definitely a different perspective. But it's going to be fun watching the young guys, and curious to see what kind of talent there is in the lower minors.
Are you excited to kind of see these young guys come up and have that veteran role?
Yeah, definitely. I think I think they have to by necessity.
Yeah.
There's really no choice. So it's good because you got to grow up fast. So it's kind of one of those things. It can be a good opportunity for those guys, and hopefully they can really help the team out this year.
Yeah. Now Zach Britton had that terrible injury in the offseason, but you see him walking around. He looks okay. What's your thought on that?
Yeah, he looks really good. I don't know what to expect when somebody tears their Achilles. I thought he would be hobbling around or be in his cast. And when I saw him the other day, he didn't have a cast on. Said he didn't need it. So I was really surprised. And then he told me that, and then I thought back to when Wainwright had his, and he was pitching by the end of the season. I remember he got hurt in April and he was pitching in September. So I guess it's not like basketball or football where you really need your Achilles a lot. So he said he's just more worried about the, fielding bunts and running to the bases and stuff like that. So, but yeah, he looks really good.
Yeah, I'm impressed the way he's walking around in the clubhouse today.
Definitely.
Shocking. How do you see that affecting the bullpen, especially your role and Darren O'Day's role? Because Zach Britton was the closer, but maybe you could see yourself in some games closing.
Yeah, I mean, I would love the opportunity, and I know I've given the same answer a million times, but
okay.
It's kind of one of those things where wherever they tell me to pitch, I'm going to do it. And I think last year I kind of got too hung up in being the closer when Zach was out, when's he coming back, and trying to figure out what inning I'm going to pitch as opposed to just going out there and throwing the inning that Buck tells me to throw. So that's what I'm really going to concentrate on. There's no really difference in preparation or anything like that. You just you either pitch in the 7th, the 8th, or the 9th, and whenever Buck makes the phone call, I'll be ready to go.
So you want to take the mental side of it out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think last year I worried so much about trying to close out the games and get the win as opposed to just getting 3 outs. And that's really all baseball is as a reliever is, 3, 4, 5, 6 outs. That's all you got to get. So that's what I'm just going to try to concentrate on.
Brad, of course, you're a reliever, but there's only 2 defined starting pitchers for the Baltimore Orioles right now. Is that stressful to you at all? Is it a distraction at this point?
Yeah, I think for us in the bullpen, it's not necessarily a distraction. It's more so kind of a topic of conversation, like, hey, who are we going to sign, or who's going to be the starters? And like you said, who knows, maybe it'll end up being those young guys. Like you said, you don't know what you have in a guy. I think personally you don't know what you have in a guy until you get to see what he does in the major league. So I mean, I know for a lot of fans and stuff like that, it can be a little stressful here that we don't have these starters, but obviously they have enough faith in those guys that we only have 2 guys from last year's team back as starters. So we'll see what happens here going forward, and be interested to see who we end up going north with.
Now, I know this isn't your specialty by any means, but what are your thoughts on the market right now? Because you will be a free agent soon, and it's been very slow this offseason.
Yeah, definitely a little nerve-wracking because after this year, like you said, I'll be a free agent. So it's one of those things where you can't really figure it out. And driving down, I'd listen to MLB Network because I'm always curious about what those guys are thinking, former players and stuff like that too. And they have no idea what's going on. So I think it's kind of just one of those things. The market readjusted, and the players kind of got hit in the mouth, and it's kind of like, what happened to the value here. We're not getting these same contracts that happened a few years ago. I mean, that could just maybe that's the case, maybe not. I don't really know. I'm not really an expert on it, but it'd be interesting to see how it all ends up here because I think in this next week there'll be a flurry of action and activity, and guys will get kind of what they're worth. So we'll see.
Well, hopefully next year it kind of bounces back.
Yeah,
So
hopefully.
A different experience.
Exactly.
Yeah. The Orioles are the underdog heading into this season. The American League East is going to be very strong again, a hard division with the Yankees and Red Sox, etc. What do you think the team needs to prove after kind of falling off at the end of last year?
Yeah, I think we need to prove that what we did from 2012 to 2017 or 16 season was not a fluke, and that we can repeat that this year. I think a lot of guys just kind of rested on the fact of maybe if you show up, we're going to win games, and that's just not the case. And especially in the AL East with the Yankees really turning around the last couple of years. I mean, they're probably the head of the AL right now. In general. So I think for us to just go out there and just compete every day like we normally do, and not saying we got away from that, but I think it's just kind of one of those things that we can't just go out there and expect to win. And we have a ton of talent. We just got to put it out on the field, and hopefully we can compete with these guys and stick with them all year.
Brach, thank you so much. Congrats on your daughter, and good luck in spring training.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.